Welcome to our Solving Systems of Linear Equations review. In this video, we are going to review substitution and linear combination or elimination. Because you don't have a note sheet, just to give you a heads up, we're going to be doing 6 examples, 3 with substitution and 3 with elimination. So let's move on to our first example. Let's start with substitution. So it says solve by substitution. If you remember with substitution, we need one equation to be solved for one of the variables. So we either need x equals or y equals. In this case, we have x solved for already. X is equal to 3y plus 4. In our second equation then, where we see an x, we're going to substitute 3y plus 4. So I have 2 instead of x. I'm going to write 3y plus 4. And then keep writing my equation. So plus 6y equals 12. Distributing the 2, I get 6y add 8 plus another 6y equals 12. Combining like terms, 6y and 6y is 12y plus 8 equals 12. If I subtract 8, I get 12y equals 4. Divide by 12, y equals 4 over 12. But both 4 and 12 are divisible by 3, so y is equal to 1/3. Now hopefully you remember we're not finished yet, we still have to solve for x. I can substitute that y into the top equation or the bottom equation, it doesn't matter, but I still need to solve for x. Because my first equation is x equals, I'm going to substitute back into the first equation. So I have x equals 3y plus 4. In this case, y is 1/3. Okay, now 3 is like 3 over 1. I can multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I get x equals 1 add 4, so I get x equals 5. My final answer then is x comma y, which is going to be 5 comma 1/3. Now I always like to check my answer just to make sure that I'm on the right track. So in order to check, I need to substitute both points into both equations. So you get x equals 3y plus 4. My x is 5. Is that equal to 3 multiplied by 1/3 add 4? Well, I get 5 equals 1 add 4. That works. My second equation is 2x plus 6y equals 12. So I have 2 multiplied by 5 add 6 multiplied by 1/3. I want to know if that's equal to 12. 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. 6 multiplied by 1/3, it's 6 over 1, is 6 divided by 3. So I get 10 equals 10 add 2 equals 12. Both equations work, so this is my final answer. Okay, so let's do another example. Okay, so here's our second example. So solve by substitution. I told you with the first example that we need to have either x solved for or y solved for. In the first example, we already had x equals. In this example, we need to solve for x or y first. My first equation has 1x and 1y. So that's going to be a little bit easier to solve for. Whereas in the second equation, we have a 2x and a 3y. It's going to be a little more difficult. So looking at my first equation, I have x plus y equals 3. I can solve for x or I can solve for y. In this case, I'm going to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And that's just individual preference. So I get y is equal to 3 minus x. Now I'm ready to substitute this for y in the second equation. So I get 2x subtract 3. Now instead of y, I know y is equal to 3 minus x. That's equal to, this should be a 14. So that's equal to negative 14. Okay, now distributing, this is like plus a negative, so I want to distribute a negative 3. I get 2x, add negative 9, add 3x equals negative 14. Combining like terms, 2x and 3x is 5x, add negative 9 equals negative 14. If I add 9 to both sides, I get 5x equals negative 5, and x equals negative 1. Okay, now I need to solve for y again. I can use either of my two original equations. I'm going to go with this first equation. So I have x add y equals 3. X I found is -1. Adding 1 to both sides, I get y equals 4. So my final answer is -1, 4. And let's just do a check just to make sure that we were right. So x plus y, is that equal to 3? Well, I have -1 add 4. So I get 3 equals 3. Yes. And then I have 2x minus 3y equals -14. So I have 2 times -1, subtract 3 times 4. Is that equal to -14? Well, this gives me -2, subtract 12, which is yes, equal to -14. So that is my final answer. Sorry about this mistake over here, which should have been a 4 instead of a 3. Okay, let's move on. Here is your example. I need you to pause the video right now, try the problem on your own, and come back when you are finished, please. Okay, so trying this problem, you should have gotten your answer to be 0, -3. If you did not, you need to go back and find your mistake. If you can't find your mistake, come to class and I will answer your question in class. That was substitution onto linear combination, or I'm going to call it elimination. So it says solve by linear combination or elimination. We have this example here. Linear combination is when you need both x's to share the same coefficient or both y's to share the same coefficient. So here I have positive 2y, negative 2y. So they're both 2, and then they need to be opposite signs. I have a positive and I have a negative, so I'm ready to go. You need to add down. So this is like a 1x. 1x add 2x is 3x. Positive 2y and negative 2y become 0y. 3 add -12 is -9. Now if everything goes according to plan, I should end up with either a 0x or a 0y, which is the case here. So I get 3x equals -9, dividing by 3, x equals -3. Now I can use either of the original equations to find y. I'm going to go back to the first equation. So I have -3, add 2y is equal to 3. If I add 3 to both sides, I get 2y equals 6, and y equals +3. So it looks like my final answer is -3, +3. Let's just do a check to make sure. So x add 2y is equal to 3. -3 add 2 times 3 is equal to 3. I get -3 add 6 equals 3. That's true. My second one is 2x minus 2y equals -12. So 2 multiplied by -3 minus 2 multiplied by 3 equals -12. This gives me -6 subtract 6 equals -12. Be careful, this is plus a negative, so I get -12 equals -12. Yes, and that worked out. So let's look at our next. Again, solve by elimination. First thing that I'm noticing is my first equation has an x and a y, and my second one has a y and an x. So the first thing that I'm going to do is rewrite that second equation. So my first equation is 3x minus y equals 2. The second one is 4x add 2y equals 0. Okay, now I either need to eliminate my x's or I need to eliminate my y's. In this case, I have positive 2x and positive 4x. If I multiply the top equation by 2, I'll end up with 4x and 4x, which is what I need, but they need to be opposite signs. So I'm going to multiply by a -2. When I do that, I get -4x. -3 and -2 is positive 6y equals -4. You have to remember to multiply everything by -2. And then my second equation just stays the way that it is. 4x add 2y equals 0. Now I'm ready to add. -4x add positive 4x is 0x plus 8y equals -4. I got 0x, which is what I should have gotten. Now I have 8y equals -4. So y equals -4 over 8, which is -1/2. Now I need to solve for x. I'm going to substitute this into the second equation to get x. So I have 2 times -1/2 plus 4x equals 0. Remember, this is 2 over 1, so this becomes -2 over 2. Add 4x equals 0. So -1 add 4x equals 0. Adding 1 to the other side, I get 4x equals 1, so x equals 1/4. So then my final answer is 1/4 negative 1/2. If I do a check, they both work in both equations. So moving on is our last example. I would like you to pause the video, try this one on your own, and come back when you are finished, please. You should have had enough time to try this one on your own. If you did, you should have gotten the answer 5, -2. If you didn't, not a big deal. That's okay, but go back and find your mistake. If you can't find your mistake, please bring it to class. When you come to class, we will be doing some more examples with substitution and elimination. Thank you.